There are so many nominees for Best Picture,
Yes.
aka Stateside Moment that made you want to drink. So, who wants to go first? I think there are so many options for both of us right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go back and listen to our airing of the grievances episode. There was a lot of, I think we were definitely drinking that episode.
I think that whole episode after week one was the Stateside Moment that made you
Yes,
want to drink.
yes.
That whole episode, probably.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I will go first. And it is not that week one debacle where we blew a 17-point lead against Washington. That is a great nominee. There are plenty of them. But my award winner, Best Picture, Stateside Moment that made you want to drink award is
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Ladies, stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone. If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes. Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach.
The team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Cautiously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.
Welcome to episode 22 of Birds vs. Boys, powered by Brandon Sports and brought to you by Stateside Vodka. I have my Emmitt Smith jersey on, repping episode 22. Aidan, I got my Emmitt Smith book. There's nothing better than the GOAT, Emmitt Smith. But today we are going to give some power rankings and some locks. Aidan, we are in a time right now where we have football for 18 straight days.
I didn't know that.
Including college football. Yeah.
Wow.
How lovely is that?
That's awesome. There was a time when we started doing this podcast, we were like, oh, we may not have football at all. What a great time to start a show. And now we have 18 straight days of it. I'll take that for sure. That's awesome.
I'll take that any day of the week. But we're gonna do this show a little bit differently today, huh?
Yeah, it's the perfect time to do it. If you most of your favorite TV shows, at some point in the season, they switch it up and stray from the plot that they were on just for one episode. What better time than this week where the Eagles have a bye week and the Steelers do too?
Very funny, but very true. Speaking of the Steelers, do you want to start with our power rankings then?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. They're number one.
So if you're new to our podcast, the second episode that drops if you're listening or watching today on Thursday, we always start with our power rankings and we give you 2 locks of the week before we get into Cowboys Eagles. So we will do power rankings, and we've been doing it from 1 to 5 this year, not from 5 down to 1. So you have the gold standard at 1?
I do. And if you're new to the show, they have become what I've hitched my wagon to.
Well, I'm right there with you. The Steelers beat up on our other favorite team, the Ravens. Not beat up, but took care of, I guess you could say. And they do have a bye this week going down to Dallas, so they should have no problem keeping that undefeated streak alive.
And we should look, sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses and pat yourself on the back for a job well done. You and I have been Steelers all year, and we said, let's move them to number 1 before they play the Titans. Yep. We're going to invest heavy. We put all our money into Steve Madden like they did in Wolf of Wall Street and cashed
all the chips into the middle of the table.
And they beat 2 playoff teams. Boom, they're undefeated, and they look great.
All right, so who you got at number 2?
I have the Chiefs.
I have the Chiefs as well. I think you could argue them at 1. I still believe they, yes, they have that 1 loss, but I mean, you just look at them sometimes. You're like, I just, in the long run, I don't know if anyone's going to stop them.
I think whether it's in Kansas City or Pittsburgh, I just would love to see them play each other in a cold weather January championship game. That'd be intense. That'd be great football. Le'Veon Bell against his former team. That'd be a great football matchup.
Give it to us. AFC championship game in the cold, please.
Yes.
All right, number 3.
I have Russell Wilson.
I have Russell. We have formed one brain. Their defense still kind of stinks. They did make the move for Dunlap last week, which I do like. He's a experienced pass rusher. I mean, they get no pass rush, so hopefully he can help. But I mean, DK Metcalf is just a freak.
I will give Carlos Dunlap kudos. That is the best trade plea that I've ever seen or heard, where he put his house for sale on social media as a way to demand a trade. That is one of the best trade demands I have ever heard of. So good for him and good for the good for the Seahawks for being number 3.
Whoa. All right. This is 4 and 5. This may be where we stray a little bit. Not sure, but we do have one brain. So we don't know who each other's power rankings here. So you're number 4 team.
The Bucks.
And I have the Bucks, of course.
All right.
I mean, Tom Brady, they struggled Monday night against the Giants, but everybody has those down games. Their defense is legit. And I just think Tom Brady's going to somehow will this team. And now, surprise, surprise, Antonio Brown enters the mix.
AB enters the chat. Usually when he's in group chats and the screenshots get exposed, it doesn't end well for him. So hopefully this group chat goes a little bit better.
I'm a better person. That's what he said.
Everybody's a better person when someone hands him $1 million.
You imagine, real quick, I want to go on a tangent here. So he's going to live with Giselle and Tom Brady in Derek Jeter's old house in Tampa. Do you think Brady gives him a bedtime and he has a smoothie at night and he wakes him up? Is AB his child?
Pretty much. Do you think who tucks who in?
I mean, I think Tom. Nah, maybe Giselle. Maybe it's actually Tom. Now Tom is sleeping in bunk beds with AB, and Giselle tucks them in.
Yeah, in Step Brothers when they build the bunk beds. Now AB and Tom have formed one room, built the beds on top of each other, and Giselle sleeps by herself.
They have so much room for activities.
They have so much more room for activities. Did we just become best friends?
What? Why did only 3? Well, I guess they got the kids there too, but I can't imagine living in a house that big and then throwing Antonio Brown in
there. You come home from school and Antonio Brown is in your living room. Hey man, how was school today?
What? You just all you want to do is get on your Xbox, and AB's just commandeered it.
Yes, yeah, he's playing Xbox.
Yeah. All right, number 5.
I don't have anyone. No one deserves it. Everyone's a fraud. That's not these 4 teams. I have, by accident, built the college football playoff in the pros. The Ravens are frauds. The Titans are frauds. The Packers would be the team I would put there, but it's hard to do that after a loss to the Vikings at home.
Yeah.
So I have nothing.
Okay. I have our kind of mutual team, the Ravens, just kind of because I needed to fill a spot. Like you said, the Titans are frauds. I couldn't put the Packers there. We had the Packers at 1 a couple of weeks ago. And then they had 2 rough losses. But I mean, I don't know. The Ravens are definitely frauds. Jackson doesn't look like the MVP was. Now they lose Ronnie Stanley, their left tackle, after locking him up for, big money. It's awful. So, and they, their line is so important to them in that run game and that run blocking scheme. So losing Ronnie Stanley, shout out another Notre Dame star in the league, is going to be tough for them.
I agree. And it's just, I said this before when I left the 5th slot blank. I'm putting teams in here because I believe they can win a Super Bowl. If the Ravens, every time they play a Super Bowl contender, they lose, or even a playoff contender and they lose, how am I supposed to willingly put you in this list of elite teams who I think top 5 teams that could go the distance? I just can't do it. You have to beat somebody. You have to beat someone good.
Well, they'll beat the Cowboys in a couple weeks, but again, can't hang your hat on that.
No, you can't hang your hat on that, but I don't know.
All right, so Steelers, Chiefs, Russell Wilson, Bucks, and Ravens for me.
Steelers, Chiefs, Russell Wilson, Bucks, blank space.
But a couple weeks ago, that was just the AFC North for you.
I know. I grouped them all together. Now they've created some space. Now it's starting to spread.
Yeah.
Like
something else what's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, that's coming closer together.
Yeah.
This is like Pangea. The continents were all stuck, except instead of all the continents, it's all the shitty, ugly AFC North cities, mid-major cities in the country. Now they're all breaking apart.
Bang. All right. Before we do a little something fun here, let's run through our locks. We didn't like any of these games this week. I really don't want to give any locks, but it's what we do here. So
Lock should be
yeah,
a
yeah,
loose term this
yeah.
week.
Games we don't hate, but still hate.
Games I would bet on if I was bored and had nothing else to do and had the money to do it and felt slightly confident because I already had 3 drinks.
Like if you had enough money to rent Derek Jeter's former house and have Antonio Brown live in it for free, that kind of money.
That kind of money. Then I'd feel confident in betting on something this week.
Agreed.
So this will be very brief, and then we'll get into our big thing.
All right. So my first one here, I think this is about the 3rd time I'm betting on this team this year, and I think I've won it once. The Texans 1-6 are at the London Jaguars 1-6. Houston is -7. The Jaguars are starting a rookie quarterback. I don't know why, but I am picking Houston -7. I just feel like they can beat up on a rookie quarterback and find a way to win a game.
I agree because I was like, who? They said who the quarterback was for the Jaguars. I was like, who? So I know the Texans aren't good, but they're better than that.
Yeah, they still have Will Fuller, so they should be able to win this game handily.
I agree. Okay, so my first one, you're not going to like it. Well, you probably will because you've pretty much conceded.
Take the Steelers minus whatever they are.
13.5. I'm sorry. And it's honestly, though, I don't even know if it's a Cowboys thing. We'll get into why. But like, look at the Steelers. Like, they're just such a complete team. They could cover that spread because of the defense, because they give up 3 points on Sunday, or they could cover the spread because they score 35. Like, it could be 21-3, or they could just put up 42 and cover it that way. So it's like, pick your poison on how.
Yeah. No, I mean, 4th worst defense in the history of the league rolling out there, or Garrett Gilbert or Cooper Rush on offense. So
we'll get into
that. Also, I don't know if you saw this. I don't think we went over it the other day, but the Cowboys are 0-8 against the spread this year. If you had bet $100 on the Cowboys in week 1 against the Cowboys in week 1 and let that money ride through the whole season, you'd have like 25 grand right now, I think.
That is pretty impressive.
So just bet against the Cowboys. That's literally, there we go. Yeah, you'd have, if you bet $100 on the Rams and you let it ride, you'd turn that 200 into 400 week 2. If you let it ride, you'd turn that 400 into 800. You let it ride, Cleveland week 4, you turn that 800 into 1600. Week 5, you'd turn that 1600 into 3200. Week 6, you'd turn that 3200 into 6400. Week 7, you'd turn that 12,800. Week 8, you'd turn that 12,800 into $25,600. All you got to do is bet against the Cowboys.
Do you know, like, statistically, I'm sure they don't have the odds, but statistically, the odds of that are so hard. So
8 against the spread.
Wow. Well, I'm late to the game, but I'm here to make some money.
Let's go.
All right.
My second game here, Giants at the Washington football team. Sorry, producer Vince. The over-unders at 41.5. The Giants score 18.1 a game. Washington scores 19 a game. These offenses stink. Their defenses play, somewhat okay. So I am going under 41.5 points in this game.
I agree. I think that's pretty smart. We've talked about the limitations of those teams multiple times. Speaking of teams with limitations, I have Patriots -7 on Monday Night Football versus the Jets. So I think the Patriots are in a spot where they're a little bit angry. They probably should have beat the Bills, who are the best team in the division. They hung tough with a contender. Now they get the Jets. The Jets just feel like the team everyone's going to beat up on and cover the spread against them. Like, the spread was enormous for the Chiefs. They still covered it,
It did. Yeah, this is a Bill Belichick. We're not losing this fucking game.
Yeah, it very much is, especially in prime time. So it's Patriots -7. So for them, they just have to win by more than a touchdown, which you are totally right. And it could be another situation like the Steelers where it's like, okay, they might cover the spread just because they give up a field goal the entire night.
Mhm.
and that'll be it.
This kind of leads perfectly into what we're going to do next with one of our awards that we're going to be talking about. So,
Oh, yes.
we are going to be doing the Stateside Mid-Season Award show here. And before we go any further, I am claiming that Stateside Vodka is the greatest vodka in the world.
I
You
have
can go to
claimed.
Russia. You can go anywhere you want. You can go to Texas has a good vodka. I am claiming, and this is probably the best claim there is out there, that Stateside Vodka, which is vodka for king and queens, we don't deserve this vodka, especially after our teams stink and lose and we have to drink on the podcast. We don't deserve to drink Stateside Vodka because, like I said, I claim that this is the greatest vodka in the world. So make sure you go to statesidevodka.com, get yourself one of these bad boys. They deliver in Pennsylvania, or you can go get it at the stores. Your parents were at a restaurant, right? And they have the Stateside right out there.
They had the Stateside. They had mixed drinks with Stateside vodka. It's also in the liquor stores all over the state. So it is easy to claim who the winner is. Stateside vodka.
And they even make these awesome glasses out of their bottles.
Why even bother counting the rest of the votes?
Exactly. Lock it up. We claim victory. All right. So Stateside Mid-Season Awards here on Birds vs. Boys. And we're not going to be doing like, who's your MVP, Aidan?
I was about to say, we should probably preface that a lot of these awards, probably not an award that you want to win.
No.
If you cared about this award show, which I'm sure none of the people involved do, but I would not write an acceptance speech for some of these.
No. It's not going to be your ESPN Stephen A. Smith, I think he's the MVP.
It's not going to be the SBC either.
No, it's not.
All right.
Stuart Scott. All right. So the first Birds vs. Boys Stateside Mid-Season Award. Best person at keeping his job this season that does not deserve it. Aidan, you can go first.
Mine would be the one and only Adam Gase, to the point that was that yours as well?
It was, but I have a backup.
Okay, good. Okay. I think, I'm sorry, I chose an obvious one, but it's hard not to. So congratulations to Adam on winning the person best at keeping his job when they don't deserve it, to the point where the Jets would have fired him, but he's so bad at his job and is so undeserving of the job that it is now benefiting them because now they're looking like they're going to get the number one pick because the team has quit on him. So congratulations to Adam Gase on being so undeserving that they've now found value in you to deserve to keep your job.
Adam, congratulations, Adam. So that was my pick, but I am going to go, I'm going to stay with a homer pick here, and I'm going to go Jalen Smith, Clown Smith. Love Jalen, Notre Dame grad. If anybody knows anything about me, they know I'm a big Notre Dame fan, but Jalen Smith, I don't want to say is the worst linebacker in the league because Nate Gary is pretty bad, but I think Jalen Smith is the worst linebacker in the league. We prefaced it on the last podcast, the moment where Carson Wentz was running at him and he just turned his head and looked the other way and ran he cannot play the position of linebacker, and he stinks. He needs to be benched, but he keeps selling sunglasses and pumping out cryotherapy places. So good for you, Jalen.
He's getting the bag while he still can.
Jalen, congratulations.
All right. Congratulations. Woo!
Woo! Okay. The second Stateside Birds vs. Boys Mid-Season Award is the most silent big name player of the season. And we'll explain that. That means a big name who you kind of completely forgot about because they're doing nothing.
Yeah. A ghost.
A ghost. Let me go first.
If this were like Hill House and Bly Manor, they're not a main character, but they play a role, but you just see them faintly in the background if you look hard enough.
It's one of those 134 ghosts in Bly Manor.
Yes. Was there really 134?
Yes, that's what I Googled it.
Wow. I missed a lot.
Yes, I saw about 13, I think.
Yeah. I saw it when it popped up straight in my face. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, might have to rewatch it.
Yep.
All right, so for this one, I am going with Jadeveon Clowney. One of the biggest names in the offseason. He waited until the very bitter end to sign with the Titans. I mean, he was such a focus last year after he knocked out Carson Wentz in the playoffs. His name was everywhere. And I feel like he has gone to Tennessee, and I could not tell you one thing he's done this year. I don't think I've seen a highlight of him. I think I saw him jumping off sides maybe week 1. But since then, I mean, I couldn't tell you if he even has a sack this year.
I agree, and I think that's a good one. I have a different one, but the reason I say that is because Eagles fans really wanted him because he did sign a short-term deal, which was all we could offer him.
Yep.
But he would have just taken playing time away from Brandon Graham, who's now 3rd in the league in sacks. Who would have thought at the beginning of the season that it wouldn't be Jadeveon Clowney 3rd in the league in sacks?
How about that, Jeff Kavanaugh?
Aha. I told you, Brandon Graham, Earl Thomas debate, it is over.
Shout out to our boy Jeff Kavanaugh, who is recovering from the COVID right now. Thoughts and
Also
prayers.
a very good Twitter follow.
Yes.
And I don't even like the Cowboys, and I still follow.
He's great. So who are you going with? Oh, congratulations, Jadeveon.
Jadeveon, yay, congratulations. We'll probably see you back next year when you're on another team like the Packers or somebody.
We will send you your award to Tennessee.
Yes, it's a stateside shot glass.
Yes.
Okay, my name is AJ Green. So, and now I know he's getting later in his career, but he kind of really fell off a cliff. They thought now that we have him healthy, he'll be the number 1 target for Joe Burrow. He's now the 3rd best receiver on the Bengals, which is really saying something. But Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins already is now becoming the next AJ Green right before our eyes.
Yep.
AJ Green, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, the way Burrow's been slinging it around too. He's throwing for 300 almost every week. You look up and expect to see. He doesn't even have a touchdown yet this year. AJ
I don't
Green.
think so. And they're a team who is often throwing out of necessity. And Joe Mixon's been hurt and they've been down, and he's still not putting up numbers when the volume alone would say, hey, this guy should have a good season.
Yep. I actually picked him up in my one fantasy league this past week because I needed a receiver. I was like, they're going against the Titans. Titans stink against the pass. I think it was 3 points.
Yeah, it was he's been a ghost.
AJ, stateside shot glass coming your way.
AJ, at least AJ has actual accolades that he can fall back on.
Very
actual
true.
awards.
Very true.
You might be the only one on this list that.
All right, the 3rd stateside Birds vs. Boys Mid-Season Award is the moment of the year for you.
Can I hold on? How would you like to play this? Because I could present nominees to you, and you could choose one if you'd like.
I could do that, but I also have one that I think is going to make you laugh.
Okay. All right. So I'll just go through. Do you want to go first then? Do you want to?
Okay.
All right.
I am going with one that goes against my team. It hurt my team. But it kind of put them away. So it kind of helped me jump on the team tank. Everything's going to be okay. I don't need to be upset about everything. And it also hurt you very much so. And it was very, very funny. So it hurt us both at the same time. I'm going when Kenyon Drake just broke that run during the Monday night game against Arizona and took it about 70 yards for the touchdown. And he took your fantasy team to the grave while he took my real team to the grave.
Yeah, that was such a gut punch for both of us. I had a 99% chance of winning in fantasy. 99. They had to run one play and it would have been over. The only thing that it could not beat was a 66-yard touchdown run. And what it was a 66-yard touchdown run.
Right up the gut.
And they weren't even trying to score. That's what hurts the most. They were just trying to wind the clock out.
Mm-hmm. So, Kenyon Drake, congratulations. Yay. Moment of the year so far. You get a stateside shot glass.
Shot glass, yay. And I think I hope he thanks the Cowboys defense in his award speech.
Right up the gut against Jalen Smith.
What a loss. I was devastated.
All right. So Aiden's moment of the year.
I have nominees for moment of the year.
Okay.
All right. So I will present the nominees to you, and you choose your favorite one.
Perfect.
Okay. So my first nominee is when the Falcons blew a double-digit lead against the Bears and lost the game.
Yay, Falcons.
Yay, Falcons. All right. Ready for my second moment of the year?
Yes.
When the Falcons blew a double-digit lead against the Cowboys.
Yay, Cowboys. Oh,
For my third nominee. When the Falcons threw the ball to Calvin Ridley 0 times on Monday Night Football and got killed by double digits.
yay, Calvin Ridley.
And my last nominee for moment of the year. When Arthur Blank came down to the field during every Falcons game and they lost every single time.
I'm not gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with Arthur Blank because I think I don't know if it was here. No, it was on Brandon Radio. We were talking about Arthur Blank, and I said he kind of looks like your, nice grandfather. But I was wrong. He's like a Marvel villain.
Yeah,
he looks like a villain in or Batman. He needs like the cane. Joe said all of his bones are made of metal.
It's the suits. Like he doesn't dress in normal businessman suits. No. He looks like he had some special chemical that he made and it turned people into either like bionic strong people, and he made billions off of it, but really it was evil, and they had he turned them into super villains,
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what he looks like. But at what point, who in the organization has they just fired their coach and they just fired their GM.
Yep.
Who has the power to be like, stop coming down to the field? Stop. We don't want you around.
No one. Jerry Jones used to do it all the time, and he stopped.
Yeah.
Maybe that might just be because he's just old and it takes him a while to get down there.
Down the steps or down his elevator, yeah. But no other owner seems to do that often, and yet he's always there, and it just coincides that the Falcons are always blowing a huge lead late in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Was there a third time that the Falcons blew in a huge lead that I forgot? It's almost hard to keep track with how bad that they are at this whole football.
I think they did that in the Super Bowl once.
They did do that in the Super Bowl once. It was pretty funny. But I thought there was a third time. But as far as nominees go, I am definitely going to go with the Cowboys one because that I will never forget that onside kick as long as I live.
Yeah, that watermelon kick was phenomenal.
It was insane. Oh, I did forget one. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The time that they played the Lions and they could have just fallen down at the 1 yard line, but they didn't. Gave the ball back to Matt Stafford and he threw a touchdown pass in the last play and they lost.
I like that.
That one, actually, I changed my mind. That one is my award winner.
Okay.
Late to the game, but that is my award winner because, like I said, all I had to do was watch Big Ten football the day before, and that wouldn't have happened. Yep. And it got funnier because the video came out of Matt Ryan telling Todd Gurley to fall down after he got the first down.
Yep.
And he still went in the end zone, and they still lost.
And that helped my fantasy team. Thank you, Todd Gurley.
Thank you, Todd Gurley. Yay, Falcons.
Hey, Arthur Blank, you get a stateside shot glass.
You get 5 stateside shot glasses.
We might even upgrade you to one of these full-size glasses.
We might have to give them they sell 750 milliliters. We might have to give them the 1 liter state
they get the tank
for all the moments they've given us.
They get the tank.
They get the distillery.
All right. The fourth stateside Birds vs. Boys Mid-Season Award is the Jets.
Congratulations,
Jets. Yay to the Jets. So you can pick anything from the Jets season that you want. Just something about the Jets.
So the Le'Veon Bell thing to me.
That was what I was going to go with.
Because I think that 31 other teams were on the same page that you don't pay a running back.
Yep.
And the Jets did.
The Cowboys did too.
The Cowboys did too, but they drafted Zeke.
Yes.
Like it's different. And he was hitting his prime.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell was coming down from his prime after his high usage rate with the Steelers.
Yep.
And then the coach was like, "That was dumb. We shouldn't have done that." So sorry if I can choose a different one. So I'll let you take this. I have a funnier one. It hasn't happened yet. So I think the Jets one will be really funny going forward. Like this is a preview of a new award when we do the end of season awards. I have one coming.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Jets have not won a game in MetLife Stadium, which stinks yet this season, and the Giants have not either. So in the year 2020, the Giants have 0 wins at MetLife Stadium. The Jets have 0 wins at MetLife Stadium. And the New York Guardians from the XFL have 2 wins in MetLife Stadium.
That is a great one.
Bring back the XFL.
The XFL is no longer in business, and they still have more wins.
How about that?
And here's my last Jets one because it's relevant to current events. Not to get political, but the owner of the Jets has a position in the administration that is currently in office. So if that person were to lose today, possibly, the owner of the Jets position is the ambassador to Ireland. He hasn't been here in 4 years. He could come back after they fire Adam Gase. They could fire the GM. They could do anything. And he could come back and say, "Hey, yeah, I don't like the direction that we're going in," and just completely flip it again in a matter of months. Like he could come back in January after their season is over and completely flip whatever they had planned.
Love it. Or he could come back and be like, we didn't win a game.
Yeah, he could come back and be like, "Wait, we won 0-16?
Yeah,
everybody's fired."
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah.
Except Adam Gase. I really like
Adam Gase stays. Yeah, legit, he could do anything. We don't know. He hasn't even been in the country to watch the team.
Oh, God. All right. Number 5. We have 2 more awards here. The number 5 Stateside Birds vs. Boys Mid-Season Award is the Trevor Lawrence Sweepstakes Award. Yay.
Yay. Sorry, Trevor.
All right. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys starting Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci, and now either Garrett Gilbert or Cooper Rush.
They are teetering on. They need some teams to win some games, but it's you guys are doing the quarterback situation is as bad as it can get and it'll lock up a top 5 pick.
Yes. And if they keep losing and they get a 1 and 2, you and I are going to have a lot of offseason conversations about what they do at the quarterback position.
I think there's going to be a lot of people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area having that same conversation. It's a very interesting one to have. A lot of money involved.
Give me your Trevor Lawrence Sweepstakes Award.
My Trevor Lawrence Sweepstakes Award goes to Daniel Jones and the Giants. They've been in every game this year, and they fight hard, which is what you want from a bad team who's close to getting over the top, but not quite, because they're not bad, but they're far from good.
Yes.
What would probably make them good is Trevor Lawrence. Like, their defense isn't bad.
Oh, Joe Judge, the team is what Joe Judge said they were going to be. Hard-nosed, tough kind of team. He has kind of instilled that Belichickian kind of attitude to the Giants.
They've improved.
Yes.
They'll get Saquon back, but like, is Daniel Jones the guy?
Danny Dimes? No. Danny Nichols?
Danny Nichols.
I don't think so. But he does get a stateside shot glass. Congratulations.
Hooray.
All right. The 6th and final Stateside Birds vs. Boys Mid-Season Award is the stateside moment that made you want to drink stateside the most this year.
We have had plenty of these moments to choose from. There are so many nominees for Best Picture, aka stateside moment that made you want to drink. So, who wants to go first? I think there are so many options for both of us right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could just go back and listen to our airing of the grievances episode. There was a lot of, I think we were definitely drinking that episode.
I think that whole episode after week 1 was the stateside moment that made you
Yeah,
want to drink.
yeah.
That whole episode, probably.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, I will go first. And it is not that week 1 debacle where we blew a 17-point lead against Washington. That is a great nominee. There are plenty of them. But my award winner, Best Picture, stateside moment that made you want to drink award is tying against the Bengals because we punted on 4th down. Hooray!
I almost forgot about that moment, but that has to be your moment of the year.
Yes, it is. We could have kicked the field goal, even though Jake Elliott sucks now. We could have went for it. And if we didn't get it, the defense would have had to make one stop on one play. We did none of that. And now we tied the Bengals.
But at least that tie may get you in the playoffs.
It could. I think we'd already be close to clinching in NFC East terms if we were 4-4, though.
100%.
500 is the new undefeated.
So my stateside moment that makes me want to drink stateside the most this year, I'm going to keep it really short, really sweet. It's when Dak Prescott shattered his ankle and his bone was sticking through his skin.
You mean the cramp?
Yes.
That's another nominee for moment that made me want to drink is when I watched a man fracture his ankle and Tony Romo was like, "Oh, I hope it's just a cramp." And I was like, "Oh God."
But he was
even more cringeworthy than looking at this ankle.
Because Dak was holding his calf and they're like, he's like, "Yeah, I think it's a cramp." And then all of a sudden the camera just moved down and Tony's like, "Whoop, nope, that's not."
No, his ankle is shattered. Oh my God.
It's just like, that was it. I'm like, all right, now I got to watch Andy Dalton and then Ben DiNucci and now Garrett Gilbert or Cooper Rush.
The life left that team when Dak went down. So that's definitely a good moment to drink. And a somber one. I think the rest of them were pretty funny, but that one is a very, very reasonable moment to drink.
Yeah. A funnier one was the watermelon kick. I definitely drank in celebration after that. In spite of the
celebratory drink. That was the most ridiculous. I didn't drink in celebration.
Oh, I did.
I hate the Falcons for it, but the Falcons had plenty of chances to win awards tonight. So they might not win football games, but at least they won a Stateside Vodka Mid-Season Award on our podcast.
Those, ladies and gentlemen, are your Stateside Birds vs. Boys Mid-Season Awards. Congratulations to all of our winners. If you were not a winner, you can still make yourself a winner by going to statesidevodka.com, getting yourself one of these bad boys and sipping on it whenever you have a moment that makes you feel like drinking.
Great ad promo right there, my friend. And that's that. Congratulations to all the winners. It was really hard fought for some of these awards this year, and we'll come back and regroup at the end of the year to see if we have some repeat winners.
Make sure you don't let us know if you don't get your shot glasses, but they will be not sent anytime soon.
Anytime, yes. And especially the Falcons, who are getting a 1 liter bottle of vodka.
There's issues with the mail right now, so if you don't get them, we apologize.
Blame USPS, not us.
All right, as always, we're going to end the podcast. We're going to try and keep this under 45 minutes today and shock producer Vince since he's not behind the scenes today. But we still have to talk about Eagles Cowboys. So you were victorious last week. You hold the upper hand in our podcast. My wife holds the upper hand in my marriage. So I will let you go first. Birds versus boys time.
All right. Let me hit you with this analysis. I've been thinking about this really hard the past few days. Ever since that game, we did get the win, but it was tough. So here's what I think. It's a bye week. I've got nothing. I am still on my spa day. Thanks for listening. That's is your Eagles analysis for week 8, the bye week.
That's it. That's all we got.
That's all we got. What do you got for now? The Cowboys do play a game. So let's transition over here.
Cowboys do play a game.
What do you have?
The Cowboys are starting their 4th quarterback of the season. It's either Garrett Gilbert, who has 40 career passing yards in the NFL, or Cooper Rush, who has 2 career passing yards in the NFL, starting against the gold standard #1 team in the league, Steelers. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later. That's all I got. I get that they're starting their 4th quarterback against the best team in the league.
And that's our show.
Thank you for staying tuned to Birds vs. Boys this week. I hope you enjoyed the awards, our quote-unquote locks, and our riveting Eagles Cowboys analysis.
We gave quote-unquote locks, quote-unquote awards, and quote-unquote analysis of what was going to happen this week. Can you get all of that anywhere else?
Nowhere else. And you get to sip on Stateside Vodka while you listen or watch. It's the best.
What's better than that?
That's the Birds vs. Boys branded sports difference.
That's it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No.
Okay. You've become very dejected at the end of these.
Yeah. I try and think of something positive to say about the Cowboys, and then nothing happens in my brain.
It's a top 5 pick. I don't know. There's not much to offer you.
All over Team Tank. Yeah, that makes me very happy.
Here we go. All right. We ended it on a positive note. I'm going to kick my feet up for the bye week, and I'm good to go. Thank you to all of our award winners.
Next week, we're going to be joined by Kyle Yeomans from DallasCowboys.com. He does shows with Nate Newton. Young guy just like us, knows his stuff about the Dallas Cowboys, so hopefully we can pick his brain. And if you were expecting to hear Babes on Broad this week, we rescheduled with them, so we will be checking the almighty calendar, and they will be coming up very soon. But thank you for listening to Birds vs. Boys. As always, make sure you follow branded_sports on Twitter, Birds vs. Boys pod on Twitter. I am KMess22. Aidan is around, and we'll check you next week.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds vs. Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach.
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.